Buongiorno. Whenever I debone a chicken, I always make a chicken stock with the carcass, but I've got so much in the freezer, I decided to do something different today. I've got here in front of me 4 different types of pasta, some macaroni pasta, some butterflies, shells and some pennette. This is leftover pasta. There isn't enough to make a meal on its own right, so I've weighed 200 grams altogether, and I'll try and do something different today. And by the way, if you'd like to have a look at the grilled chicken I did at the weekend, have a look at the link up here. So I'll start by heating my chicken stock by placing it in a pan. And all I've done, by the way, to make the chicken stock was to add some cold water to the carcass, 1 bay leaf, take it to the boil, and then let it simmer for approximately 1 hour, turn it off, let it cool down, and then put it through a sieve to filter it. Job done. The stock has just started boiling, and I'm going to be adding half a teaspoon of salt, just like you would do if you were cooking pasta, followed by my pasta. Give it a little mix and let it cook for half the amount you would cook pasta. So if, for example, you were to cook pasta for 10 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. So there, the pasta is half cooked and it is very al dente. I'll just try one, just to confirm, to see if it's the case. Very hard, but halfway there. And I'm now draining it like you would do if it was pasta, but I will be keeping the stock, as it is chicken stock after all, and not sure what I'm going to be doing with it, but I cannot help thinking that it's got a lovely starch from the pasta, so I'll think of something later in the week. And I will leave the pasta now to cool down for a good 5 minutes. In the meantime, I will get on with the other ingredients. I've got some olive oil here, which I'm going to be using to grease an old cast iron pan, and this will give it a good clean before we start cooking. And see, there is a little bit of darkness. Red onion, my favorites, and I will be using one of those today. This is medium size, and I'll chop this into medium size, maybe medium to large. I do not want it too small. I'm now adding a little more oil on my pan and start sizzling my onions. I've got a couple of sausages which I'm now chopping into little chunks, and a couple of rashers of bacon. This is smoked, but if you like you can also use unsmoked, or you can use pancetta, whatever you like. And similarly to the sausages, I'm now chopping it into little chunks. And I will add my sausages and my bacon. And I will cook them together now until the sausages and the bacon are properly cooked. I'm now breaking 6 eggs into a bowl. These are nearly a week old, so time to be also consumed. I'm adding a little salt and also a little pepper. And using a fork, I'll mix them together. And after 30 seconds, I'm now adding some Parmesan cheese. The pasta has cooled down, and as you can see, I'm touching it without burning myself. It's just lukewarm. And I'm adding it to the eggs. And I'll give everything a good mix. In the meantime, the sausages and the bacon have cooked and they've amalgamated lovely with the red onion. And I'm going to be adding them to the rest of my pasta and egg. Once again, I'll be mixing everything together. Same frying pan where I've been doing all of my cooking, knob of butter, and with the help of some kitchen paper, I'll make sure that either grease or butter is distributed across the entire surface. So the butter is totally melted. My hob is on a medium setting, and I can now add my pasta. And I'm tapping it down to ensure that it is equally distributed. The macaroni stuck in my fork. There you go, it's gone. I am actually making a pasta frittata, maybe carbonara style, and I will be baking it also in the oven. But at the moment I want to make sure that I create a little base underneath so that it is easier to take out once it's finished cooking. So make sure that you do not have the temperature too high but also not too low, so medium is perfect. But if you do not have a cast iron skillet, you could use a baking tin or a dish, anything will do. I'm actually using a cast iron skillet because I like to make look like a frittata. And after a couple of minutes, literally no more than 2 minutes, you don't really want to burn the bottom, you take it off the heat, so medium to low, 2 minutes. And this is very optional, but if you want to make it look very nice from a presentational point of view, you can add some tomatoes on top. And there you go, my creative vein is in full flow today. And I've left this space in the middle for a specific reason. And that is because I was going to be adding some mozzarella in there, but I have found that I've got a burrata in the fridge. Here, there it is. Burrata is an Italian cheese. It's very creamy in the middle, but with layers of mozzarella. So by all means, you can use mozzarella if you like, but this is about to run out tomorrow. So again, I will be using it today. And I'm gonna be cutting it in half, and I'm gonna show you the inside. If you look, it's nice and creamy on the inside and a little bit thicker on the outside. And if you put it this way around, it looks a bit like Mickey Mouse. And back to my pasta frittata, I will be putting one on that side and one on this side. However, I think it might look better if I cut it in half again and I do this. And let's finish it with one in the middle. Okay, enough playing. I will pop it in the oven initially for 10 to 12 minutes at 180 degrees, but I will let you know if it requires longer once it's done. So I'll see you in about a quarter of an hour. Right, it's been in there for 15 minutes and I've just turned the oven off. I've got my torch out because my oven bulb is broken, and I just wanted to show you how beautiful it looks in there. I will leave it now to cool down for maybe 10 minutes and then we can take a look. And here I am back in my little kitchen. I've been out of the oven now for a good 5 minutes, and I've decided to add a few olives. These are pitted olives chopped in half. And I'll finish the job with a sprinkle of parsley at the very top. I've added the olives and the parsley at the end because I prefer if they are uncooked, especially the parsley will release even more flavor. And after a further 5 minutes, you should be able to go in with a spatula as it will have shrunk. And if you go around, you will find that you should be able to just easily put your spatula between the frittata and the skillet. Also, to give you a little bit of peace of mind, go in with a spatula and start releasing the bottom very gently. You don't want to break it really. And as you can see, in my case, it seems to be fairly free, and I think I'm comfortable that I've done a good job. So remember, when you're cooking it on the hob, no more than a couple of minutes, medium temperature, before it goes in the oven. Just enough to give that little base the crust that it needs. And let's see if we can do the magic. This thing is heavy, but should be, oh yes, it's coming off. Wonderful, look at that. This is now the bottom of my skillet, which looks pretty good, very clean. And I'll move the camera to a lower position to see if I can show you the bottom of the omelette. There it is, it's looking very good, very nice. Let's have a look to see what one slice looks like. And there it is. Wow, looking good. Looking very nice actually. Got all of the egg in there and the pasta, sausage. I cannot see any bacon, but we know it's there. This is ideal for children, I'm sure. I will put it in my young ones list, which is full of children recipes. I'm sure that they will love it, but also they might enjoy even making it with you. So here is the story. I cut a slice, ready to do a test, and Julie walks in, and she ate it. So,
it was really nice of everybody.
As punishment, she's going to be filming now me testing it again. But I have tested some, but I just wanted to really finish the video properly. So here is a slice, and this is for dinner, Julie, not for now.
No, it's a little afternoon snackette.
Okay, I've already had a slice, but I wanted to say that it's absolutely delicious, beyond any expectations. The fact that I cooked it in the broth, the stock of the chicken, really enhances the flavor of the pasta because there is no water, it's stock. But choking now. But what is really nice is that it's a blend and a mixture between a carbonara, because it's got the bacon and the egg, but also the sausage gives the additional extra flavor, and the burrata, which I put on the top, it makes it lovely and creamy. which with the Parmesan cheese. Delicious, honestly. I know that any Italian watching will be swearing at me because this is not conventional Italian food, but it doesn't really matter. It's delicious. Try it. And if you do make it, let me know what you think, and I'm sure that you will love it. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for watching. Have fun in the kitchen if you do it. And by the way, you can make this with your children. It's fun. Bye bye.